Hello, this is another US Geoguessr professor video. I'm a US geography expert. I am a professor, only not of geography. And I am going to share with you some strategies, some tips, some tricks, and some analysis to improve, I hope, your US Geoguessr game, or at the very least entertain you while I play. I'm excited to play another map by the Chicago Geographer, one of my favorite YouTubers. Shout out Chicago Geographer, check out his videos. He has some great GeoGuessr videos, especially his state speedrun ones. He just was in my home state of Ohio on that speedrun series, so that was a cool video to watch. So check him out. And I'm going to be playing his Chicago map. I did pretty good on the Milwaukee and the Suburbs map that I played yesterday. But this time I'm going to give myself more of a challenge, Chicago and the suburbs. Chicago is the city in which I have not lived that I know the best, probably. I've spent a lot of time in Chicago. So I'm going to feel confident if we get a couple rounds in the city of Chicago. I'm going to be less confident if we are out in Chicagoland somewhere. And then I'm going to be probably even less confident if we're in Indiana. So where do we start out? Am I lucky enough to get around in the city of Chicago? I don't think so. This looks pretty suburban. I would say if this was the city, we'd probably be like somewhere pretty like far northwest or somewhere pretty suburban. Yeah, this is not city of Chicago. 847 crime tip hotline. I see these crime signs everywhere. Does that mean we're in a not very nice neighborhood? Tall building over here. Interesting. I would venture to say we're on the north side. I mean, judging by that area code, judging by that building, that's just the kind of office building you see like all across northern suburbs of Chicago. I would have to assume we're still on our Chicago grid system, even though that's not where we are. 9700 north and 5100 west. That would put us somewhere pretty far northwest suburbs. Would that put us as far northwest as, say, O'Hare Airport even? 9700 north and 5100 west. Payne and LeClaire. 5100 west. 9700 north. Payne. Where's Payne? And what kind of street signs could we be looking at here? I gotta say, I think 9700 north is pretty far north, and 847 would indicate that, yeah, we're somewhere in the suburbs for sure. 847, so it's a north suburbs area code. I wish I knew grid system like outside of the city. I want to say Payne, 9700 north. 9700 north. Howard, could we be like around Toohey? Toohey and Lehigh. That would still be in the city, would it not? I want to say, though, that possibly these signs, these environs, I want to put us like somewhere around O'Hare and around Park Ridge. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I am going to checkpoint Payne and LeClaire, 9700, 5100 west. Not good enough at Chicago suburban grid system to instantly tell where we are. I need some more main roads. So we are going east, okay, towards Lawler, 5030 west, and yeah, LeClaire, where we were. I want to go north. I want to go towards this office building. I want to figure out exactly what little suburb of Chicago we're in. Was getting those vibes like we were going to be out in the O'Hare general region, though. I've stayed out there a few times. It really looks like this. Just kind of like these endless office buildings. If we were indeed somewhere like Park Ridge, that would totally make sense. what are we looking at here? F row 4. So really big parking lot, parking structure, because could that be like a big mall? Or could we be closer to O'Hare? Come on. What are we looking at? Skokie. Nice, nice. Okay. So, that's not surprising. Skokie is a northern suburb. I think we were just a little bit far west of there. Yeah. I was lined up pretty well, maybe, with where we should be. But those must be Skokie street signs. And I know that once we get kind of east of Skokie, it turns into more of Evanston. So where could we be in Skokie? Skokie's not a very big place, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, all of this would make sense if we were in Skokie. So I'm going to return there, Payne and LeClaire, 5100 west, 9700 north. Skokie Boulevard. Yeah, this looks like a big mall of some kind. Skokie Point Mall. Could that be what we were looking at? Yeah, there's LeClaire, 5100 west. Where is Payne? I swear, people from the North Chicago area must be screaming at me right now at my incompetence in locating where we are. LeClaire West and Payne, 9700 North. So yeah, I found LeClaire in Skokie. I have found also Lawler, where we went out. So we went out to Lawler. Payne Street, Lawler. I mean, these unnamed roads are just like little alleys. Yeah, there is Payne and LeClaire. Only took me 6 minutes to get there. So we are headed south, it looks like, on LeClaire, away from Payne. And LeClaire should dead end to the north there, yeah. So we were looking west at Niles North Football Field, had no clue about that. A little bit south of Payne on LeClaire in Skokie. So let's look at what 9700 North would look like. Yeah, way north of the city, obviously. A little bit west of Evanston. And then 5100 West would place us. It looks like Cicero might be about 5000 west. That makes sense. Rusty on my Chicago grid system, that's for sure. Spent a lot of time in the city. This was maybe 25 years ago. I would be more confident. But yeah, rusty on my Chicago grid. Ice cream truck right in front of us. We're in a different part of the city for sure, right? Much more industrial looking out there towards the west. Looks like we may have some rails, some rail yards to the west. To the east, we're seeing largely residential. I think I'm going to venture a guess that we are in the city here. This Puerto Rican flag to my west, the industrial feel of this. We might be a little bit more suburban, but just kind of feels like Chicago. These bungalows. Let's go south and figure out exactly where we are. Carey Street, wow. Red street sign, so no. Definitely not in the city of Chicago. Where have I seen those red street signs before? Are we in Illinois? Or Indiana? Crap, we're in Indiana, aren't we? Well, that sucks. Yeah, there's an Indiana plate. There's an Indiana plate. No front plates on here. Okay, so that would really support this kind of just industrial wasteland feel to the south. If we were in northwestern Indiana, yeah, the houses would make a little bit more sense. I don't know why I was confused there by the Puerto Rican flag and thinking we might be on like west side, southwest side of the city. I feel like maybe up towards like back of the yards. It feels a little bit like this, but with no front plates. Um, yeah, with these kind of lower middle class, kind of very modest bungalow kind of houses. The red street signs in particular that was the first alarm bell we were in Indiana to me. Also the Indiana street signs. So where do we have red street signs in Indiana? I know I've had rounds here before. I want to say it's in Highland. That's just a wild guess, though. I feel like we might have these red street signs in just Hammond. Would the 142nd make sense for Hammond? I think it would. West Chicago Avenue, 142nd and Cary Street. 142nd and Cary. Is this Gary? No, I swear this is like Highland or 43rd, 44th, 100th. Main Street, 142nd and Cary. We're somewhere around here, I'm pretty sure. See, the problem with Hammond is we get like East 173rd. No, we get some just regular 161st, 155th, 141st. 142nd must be in Hammond. Where would that put us? There's 145th. I think I'm narrowing this down. Burnham? Is that a possibility? Burnham. Cary and 142nd. There's 141st. Yeah, I mean, there's East 142nd. However, we are not on 142nd, East 142nd. We're just like on regular 142nd and Cary. Have I drifted over into Illinois? Yeah, I've drifted over into Illinois. We don't want to do that. Here's 142nd, like kind of right on the border. I have a feeling this is where we are. So this would put us, yeah, in North Hammond. It's these red street signs. 140th, 142nd. We torch this light. Baltimore, Torrance, Henry, Johnson, Sheffield, Homan. We gotta be here. It'd be this industrial, right? But 142nd and Cary, where does that put us? We over on this side. See, now it says West 142nd. I'm getting confused. We gotta be somewhere in Indiana, though. Oh, man. See, I was scared we were gonna get dropped in Indiana. And it really, really looks like we have been. Is there any way I can get some more information off of that truck there, I wonder? Do we just have like an address or anything? Ratzenberger, drivers wanted. No, you're no help at all. Looks like we have a one-way getting on an interstate, though. We just get some more signs, it's going to be a little bit better. Euclid and Columbus. Euclid and Columbus. Why does this count as Chicago and the suburbs? Sorry, I'm not complaining. No. This has to be Gary, right? Gary or Hammond? Euclid and Columbus. EC, what is that? EC, East Calumet? East Calumet. Is that a thing? No, East Chicago's a thing, though. Yeah. East Chicago? So that's an East Chicago street sign. Would 142 make sense for EC? Yeah, it would. It definitely would. And there's Cary, but see, what confused me is East 142. So this looks like East Chicago. We are going down what looks like 142 to, no, that's Cary because we're going south. Yeah, so this is Cary. The dead ends into 143rd and turns to the left. Yeah, it must. Because then do we go up here and then is there a slight road going off to the right and then around? That certainly looks plausible, yeah. And then this would be 142 and Cary that we went to after the ice cream truck, right? Okay, so looks like East Chicago also has those red street signs, those very distinctive ones. Wow. I'm going to remember that. It's what made me think Indiana, but I think I was in like Highland or Hammond before. I will really have to remember East Chicago has those street signs as well. So I think we're 3 houses north of where that little weird road comes out. East Chicago. Okay, well, could we please get around in the city? Where are we going to be in this hump round here? Round 305. It looks like the city. Thank you. So this is definitely Chicago. Things are bright. That sun is right in my eyes. I'm going to take at least one step in this direction. Yeah, that's better. So we should be seeing Illinois plates here. We are. We should be seeing front plates here. We are. At least on some cars. For rent. Where could we be in the city of Chicago? I think just everything about this scene is telling me North Side. This building, especially with this kind of brick 3-story architecture, there are buildings like this just all over the north side of Chicago. Certainly all over everywhere in Chicago. So we're looking south towards 1433. So we are on an east-west road, 1400 east or west, probably west, knowing Chicago. I guess it's not even really a guarantee we're in the city, but we're going to go out here. It just really looks Chicago-ish to me. Yeah, street sign Chicago, West Belle Plaine, that's a North Side Street, I'm almost positive. Southport Avenue, okay, also a North Side. Street going through like I'm rusty on my north side neighborhoods, but Southport would be like I think it's like around Ashland even. So 1400 west. Halstead's 800, I believe, if I remember correctly. Ashland is Ashland 1600? I'm pretty sure Ashland's 1600, Western's 2400, and Damon's like 2000. So Belle Plaine and Southport, if we were at 1400 west, I want to say Southport would be like in this area, around like Racine, east of Ashland. Yeah, Southport like 1400 west? I mean, that would make sense if Ashland's 1600. So would this be, nah, what would this be? Belle Plaine, Clark. Okay, so that narrows it down a lot more. I'm going to go a little bit more east. There is cool Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, Wrigleyville. Nice. I wish I was here right now. The great city of Chicago got even better in the last few years. Sheffield. There's Southport. So we got to be somewhere near Belle Plaine, Southport, and Clark. So that would put us up here. Irving Park. That would make sense. We would be northwest of Wrigley Field. So yeah, everything about that really screamed north side to me. We're off of the Ravenswood line, if I'm not mistaken. Montrose, I think Wilson is red line still. Montrose is, yeah, that's brown line going up through Ravenswood, so I feel like some realtors might call this Ravenswood. Nah, Lakeview. Lakeview is a familiar neighborhood. Yeah, this is like where a lot of cool stuff is in Chicago on the north side for sure. Just get a little bit more bearings. We're going to go west on Belle Plaine. We know that's where we were. We were well into Belle Plaine. I think this is Belle Plaine and Belle Plaine and Greenview going west. So, yes, in between Belle Plaine and Southport on. No, I'm sorry, we're in between Southport and Greenview on Belle Plaine. I think it looks like we're a bit closer to Southport. Yeah. This is Southport. Yep. Going out there towards that intersection there at Clark. So I think we're roughly like 4 or 5 houses in. 1, that very distinctive Chicago North Side house. 2, 3, still looking north side. 4, lower bungalow. 5, north side apartment building. 6, a kind of long multifamily thing. 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't want to get too tedious here, but we're like 10 houses in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that would make sense because that would put us a little bit closer to Southport, really right about halfway. We have these weird alleys. So if my plunk is correct, which I moved, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If my plunk is correct, we should be like about another 10 houses to that alley. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's the alley. So maybe like 8 to the alley. Yeah, maybe somewhere here. Nice. 5K in Chicago. I'll take it. So that was in Belle Plaine. Good. We got 1 round in Chicago. I appreciate that. We were able to locate it. I knew pretty much roughly where we were at that time. Of course, suburban around here. Oh my God, there's so many suburbs in Chicagoland. I feel like many of them look like this, and I also feel like many of them are endless. This is looking a bit rural, in my opinion. Savannah Grove and cord grass. Okay, so yeah, for sure, no grid. We're way out in the boonies, way out in outer Chicagoland. I mean, to me, this is just giving me like Woodstock vibes. Could that be possible? I feel like Woodstock is really getting out there in like McHenry County, in like farmland where things look flat. I mean, in traffic, I would like never want to attempt to drive to Chicago from wherever this is. I don't think I'd want to do it even outside of traffic. We got to be out like it. Yeah, I just first blush, I would say McHenry County. Northeast, Savannah Grove. I don't. Is Rockford part of this? Like, could we be as far out as Rockford? It's definitely possible, isn't it? If we were including Indiana, I feel like we might be including some of those extreme northwest suburbs too. Not that Rockford's a suburb, but like it might as well be part of Chicagoland. If Kenosha, Wisconsin is, I'm going to count Rockford. Is that fair? So we're just kind of tooling around an outer suburb of Chicago. This is kind of what I didn't want to have happen, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, 815, that's what I would imagine. So we're somewhere out like south of Chicago or west or northwest. I mean, I'm still getting McHenry County, but could we be like south of Chicago too, for sure? That's also 815 area code. The Paths of Walnut Ridge. Does that help at all? Castle and Cobblestone. Walnut Ridge, 815. Yeah, license plates. I mean, get some nice views of some Illinois license plates. I think we already knew we were in Illinois. The 815 gave it away for sure. We need something. We need something to just give me a clue as to just which one of these outer burbs we could be in. Flag sometimes means post office, but I don't think we're lucky enough to get a post office over there. I feel like at least we're getting out to a main road. Is the main road going to help? Well, Gen 1's not going to help. But is Main Road going to help? Millennium Stone of Illinois. Something River headwaters. Kankakee River? Kishwaukee River. Feel like... Kishwaukee River. I feel like that goes... Kishwaukee. I had a round near the Kishwaukee River the other day. I had a round over there, and I feel like it's in McHenry County. So, yeah, Kishwaukee headwaters. Wow. If that's where I am, how good am I? Shit. Sorry, Chicago geographer, to start cursing on your map, but like, if we're in Woodstock, I'm so proud of myself, because that's the vibes I was getting. I was getting, McHenry County, Kishwaukee River headwaters. There we go, baby. Are we right there south of Woodstock? Here's the Kishwaukee headwaters conservation area. I don't want to go back and get lost in that suburban neighborhood. We're looking at northeast towards Eastwood and Cobblestone. Eastwood and Cobblestone. Dean. I could have sworn we might have been on Dean at one point. Cobblestone. I think we're probably a little bit outside. Yeah, this was where I got dropped. Kishwaukee Valley Road. Kishwaukee Valley. Wow, I'm so proud of myself for knowing the Kishwaukee headquarters. It's cause, and I think it was even in like a previous one of my videos, I thought I was in Marengo, but I was really in Woodstock. I was really like in this area, and I swear to God, it's like, I think that's where we are again. Davis, Castle, yeah, there's Castle. Cordgrass, heck yeah. We were in Woodstock. I called it. I called it. This is so exciting. I don't care what happens in the 5th round. I'm so shaky at Illinois, and wow. Cordgrass and Savannah Grove. So we were right around there on Cordgrass. So we're looking like due north on Cordgrass. Weird. Probably right there. Probably right there. Yeah. More there. More there. Nice. 1 yard away. Woodstock, Illinois. I think, I mean, I'm going to have to go back in the video, but I think like real early in that round, I said Woodstock and McHenry County. Wow. Give me something good to finish off that video. I don't even have to get anything else. I'm real proud of that. I may embarrass myself on this one though. I mean, if we're on like the south side or somewhere, it may not be good. Front plates looking like Illinois. We are on 40th Avenue and 13th Lane. Weird grid system. I don't think we're anywhere near City of Chicago grid, unfortunately. Now. With those numbers, I'm getting nervous. We had an Indiana round, did we not? We had an Indiana round. I'm getting a weird sense this might be Wisconsin. Kenosha, Wisconsin. I'm getting a weird sense. Yeah, look at that plate. Upper left, and then you see that like green little farm scene over there. Bam. We're in Kenosha. Just off of those street signs. I hate to be self-congratulatory, but US Geoguessr professor is on fire today on this map. We're in Kenosha, Wisconsin, or somewhere real close. because there wouldn't be anywhere else in Wisconsin that we would be on this map. So the 40th Avenue, I knew that there were these kind of numbered grid system that looked a lot like this, and I seem to remember those Kenosha street signs. Yeah, the 40th Avenue is running north-south, and then we're at 13th place. Close to downtown Kenosha. Okay. Going up 39th. Here's 40th Court, 40th Avenue, 13th place. Okay, so we're very close to there in Kenosha. We were in about as north. Whoa, we were north of downtown Kenosha, big time. Wow. Near Carthage College? I would have to imagine this is towards the absolute northern limit of this coverage. Chicago Geographer, is this the farthest north point? Did I pull it? I mean, I got Wisconsin license plates. I got 40th and 13th. We are south of there on 40th, it looks like. So let's go back a little bit. Yeah, we're south of there. We're 1, 2, Kenosha, Wisconsin. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, that 70s house. 5, that 70s show house. There we go. 5 houses south of there on 40th in Kenosha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a little bit of everything, didn't we? We got Wisconsin. We got Indiana. We got City of Chicago. North side. 25K. Nice. Okay, so at 25K, the Chicago and its suburb maps. The map from Chicago Geographer. Thank you, Chicago Geographer. Feel really proud of how I did. I did it in under half an hour, too. I promise you. I've lived in Milwaukee. I've spent a lot of time in Chicago. I have never lived in Chicago. I feel like we got so many good U.S. tips off of this, too. We saw some East Chicago street signs. We saw some Indiana plates. We saw a variety of Indiana plates. Then we saw some Wisconsin plates. And then we had 3 rounds in Illinois. Good. We got one in northern suburbs of Chicago. That was in Skokie. Nice. Near a big mall in Skokie. Yeah, I know Old Orchard Road. That's a major thoroughfare. That's, yeah, right by some big malls. Curaleaf, Skokie. Wow, Chicago's getting even cooler than since I was there last. Our second round, I believe that was in Chicago. Yeah, we went pretty quickly to East Chicago. I was kind of fumbling around a little there in the Hammond, Gary area, kind of right next door to East Chicago. I feel like there's a lot of red street signs. I'm still convinced. I'm going to have to double check this after the video, but I'm pretty sure there's some red street signs down there at Hammond at Highlands too that I encountered at one point. Then round 3 was right there on the north side. That was near, yeah, I know Berthoud Avenue pretty well. North Center, around Irving Park, just right north of Wrigley Field in the city, north side. Would have been nice if we could have got a south side round too, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm so proud of this Gus in Woodstock and that call in Woodstock. I felt like it was going out on a limb, but just insta recognize McHenry County, Woodstock, Illinois. I'll shut up and stop being self-congratulatory. I'm sorry. And our last round was in Kenosha, but I got that pretty quick too. I was like, what? Are we in Wisconsin? And we were indeed in Wisconsin. So 5 rounds. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Chicago Geographer, for this map. And thank you, everybody, for watching this 25K.